Welcome back to the Ben Mulroney Show. Thank you so much for joining us. All right, you didn't see what happened in the break. I was arm wrestling with George St-Pierre, and I won. See, I'm the one with the microphone, so I can say that. Of course I didn't. No, I'm very, very pleased. I'm fanboying a little bit here. I've had a great number of experiences watching this man do things in a ring, in an octagon, that I can't believe a human being can do. And I've watched his career, and I've watched the setbacks, and I've watched the comebacks, and I've watched the victories, and I've seen a man of grace and a man of class and a man who was an ambassador for his sport and took it to a place it had never been before. And now we are here talking about a new chapter in his life. Georges St-Pierre, welcome to the Ben Mulroney Show.
Thank you for having me.
Tell the listeners, why are you here? What's happening in just a few weeks?
We're here to announce the show called Instinct of a Champion that will be in 2 weeks, Monday, September 29 at Meridian Hall. We're going to be doing a speaking night on stage with my friend Justin, and he knows me very well. He knows where the skeleton are buried.
Obviously, I'm not going to ask you to give anything away here, but what sorts of things did you keep inside that you can now share?
Well, a lot of things. Inside fight stories in preparation, and also personal life stuff. You know, I'm very proud of all my trophies, belt and stuff. But the thing that I'm the most proud of is my personal life, my family, my inner circle. And these are the things that when I was fighting, I couldn't talk about because you don't want to show that vulnerability because people can take advantage of and use that against you.
Well, you were also in such a, it's an aggressive world, right? You've got to be an alpha in everything you do. And that attracts a certain type of fan as well. You know, either alphas or want to be alphas. Yeah. And so how does it feel to sort of be next to it? I wouldn't say you'll probably never be fully away from the sport. Yeah. But how does it feel now to maybe have that temperature turned down? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, the truth is I never liked to fight. I use that to propel myself where I want to be in life, and I did it. Yeah. But I use different tricks and mind game to sort of hypnotize myself in order to do the sacrifice that it needs to be done to achieve my goals.
So the fighting was a means to an end.
Absolutely, and the things that we're gonna talk about that night is I'm gonna showcase different tricks that people can use and apply that in their own life.
It is part of your story, but not everybody knows it. That you got into karate because you were being bullied. Who in their right mind bullied Georges St-Pierre?
Well, I was a much different person at the time than I am now, and I first started my martial art journey because I was bullied. As a self-defense mechanism. Then it transformed into a passion, and a passion transformed into a way I earn a living. Throughout my journey in my life, I've done many mistakes. I've learned from my mistake. Of course, it's always better to learn from others people's mistake. But
in order to become a peak athlete in anything, you have to have discipline, right? And you picked up karate, which requires that just internally. At 7 years old, were you disciplined prior to 7 years old, or did karate instill discipline in you?
No, it changes me from the inside out. You know, we're all born with different tools, but when you want to be the best at something, you need to earn the skills because you're not born with. You're not born with it. You need to develop it, and it takes a commitment and then a lot of consistency and discipline in order to achieve it.
So if you didn't want to fight and it was a means to an end, it was taking you somewhere else. How did you deal with when your body would fail you, and how would you deal when you would fail in the octagon? Like, what did it do to you?
Well, for that same reason, I believe it is very important in combat sport to retire on top of your craft, on top of your game. I've seen in combat sport, and I'm not only talking about MMA, I'm talking about also boxing. Yeah. I see athletes, most of athletes, 99% retire too late. They retire on a losing streak, and I think it's very sad. You know, you play basketball, play hockey, you don't play fighting.
Yeah. Can I ask, now that you're out of the sport, how are you physically?
I'm great. I'm doing fantastic because I retire at the right time on top of my craft.
Yeah. Head's okay, knees okay, everything's okay. Yeah.
100%. But however, because of the concussion and the head trauma, you never know 100% how it will be in a few years.
That's
and it's
right.
something that I'm open and then I talk about it, and it's scary.
Yeah.
You never know if there's certain condition that will develop over time, like dementia, Parkinson, Alzheimer, because I did that for a living.
Yeah.
You know, and nowadays we're more sensitized to that.
We gotta end it here because I could talk to you all day, man. And just so you know, when I go home tonight, I'm gonna be telling my sons that I spent time with Batroc today.
Yeah, Batroc Belly.
Yes. Je pensais que tu étais plus qu'un bouclier.
There you go.
Thank you very much, guys.
Amazing.
Thank you so much to the both of you. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching the show. Now, if you enjoyed what you saw, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another episode of The Ben Mulroney Show.